folks. Today I want to talk about a concept called return on mindset. And it's basically this. For every dollar that you spend and invest in your mindset, you're always going to get a multiple in return. And I can't say this about everything in life, but this is one thing for sure that I can share, that I can get behind 110% and say with absolute certainty, is that for every dollar that's invested in a person's mindset, they will always get a multiple back. This is very, very important. So when we work with executive teams or when we work with an individual executive, the first thing that we take a look at is where is the mindset of this individual? Because this individual can invest X amount of money in training, whether that's leadership training, communication training, whether it's executive presence training, or even a technical skill training, for example, buffing up their accounting skills or some other aspect of their role or the division that they lead. But that's not the bigger challenge. Typically, it's the mindset that we have to work on first, because what we've identified is that if a person isn't at a certain threshold when it comes to mindset, they can do all of the technical training and skills training that they want. They're not going to be able to optimize it until they've actually optimized their mindset. So if I had the choice between investing $1 in technical skills or $1 in mindset skills, I would hands down always choose mindset. I'm sharing this from professional experience in terms of our research and the work that we've done with thousands of executives and business leaders, but also from personal experience, because I've always been a person that's invested a significant amount in my mindset. And it's always given back in multiples. And I can tell you those times when I was stuck. There was a period of time, for example, when I left the corporate world and I had thought, okay, what the heck am I doing here? Did I just throw away my entire life? And I sat there for probably a couple of months where I was questioning whether I had made the right decision. I was questioning whether I was good enough to actually move forward with the business ventures that I wanted to move forward with. And I, during that period of time, had made one mistake that I learned. And it's when I say mistake, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes because I learned from it, is I spent more money during that time trying to improve my technical skills than actually improving my mindset at that time. It was a new stage of life for me. It was something that I hadn't fully experienced because I was a successful executive and it almost felt like I had to start from scratch again. So what I did was I invested more money in my technical skills, and my technical skills at that time were around marketing, for example, and even digging deeper into cognitive neuroscience and performance psychology, even though I had a significant background in it and academic experience and so forth. But what I thought was, if I can get better in these technical skills, then I will feel better about myself and better about being this type of a professional. What I really needed to invest in at that time was more into my mindset. And I did invest more into my mindset, but it wasn't until something clicked for me that I actually made that change. Because it wasn't the technical skill that I was lacking, it was the way of thinking that I had. And that's essentially what mindset is. It is your way of thinking. And mindset is either just what I call a masterful mindset, which is one that actually enables you to get to your goal, or a struggling mindset, a mindset that actually holds you back or even stops you from achieving your goal. And that's essentially what mindset is. It's either masterful, it helps you get towards your goals, or it's a struggling mindset, which basically holds you back. In between, I don't like when people say, oh, it's a negative mindset or it's a positive mindset. That's, that is what we say very subjective. What's more objective is whether that mindset is helping you or it's not helping you. That's the bottom line here. And in my case, my mindset wasn't helping me, so I needed to invest more into my mindset. So this is what we see very common. And something else struck me probably within the last couple of years, and probably more in this last year, is that the work that we were doing, which we call human potential optimization, and it's an architecture, it's like engineering. What I failed to see years ago was that the one thing that CEOs wanted us to do with themselves and their teams is really shift people's mindsets. That's what they were asking for. Every single thing that we did, whether it's helping people get more energy, make better decisions, have more motivation and drive, the core of it, fundamentally, was to help people shift their mindset. And that's what CEOs, that's what divisional leaders, that's what HR people want, is they want people to shift their mindset. All roads lead back to a person's mindset. Because if we can shift a person's mindset, then it's much easier for them to do everything else that they need to do. It's much easier for them to take accountability when they need to take accountability. It's much easier for them to learn. This is based on Carol Dweck's work and the book Mindset. It's phenomenal work that she did in terms of research that identified that people who have a growth mindset, which is a subset of a masterful mindset, are able to learn better and faster. And also, they are able to perform better. So there is a direct link between mindset and performance and human potential and even quality of life. It is the fundamental core, and more research and science is showing this. So I can't stress the importance of mindset. It is absolutely critical that we as business leaders not only take a look and invest in our own mindset, but we also invest in the mindsets of our individuals. It is the best return on investment that you can get. And that's why we call it return on mindset.